Hey guys, welcome to today's Q&A and open training session. Um, the main question that's been coming up recently, and this is not generally from people who have been training with me, but people who are in the business of, life coaching or the self-help area, and they're saying that the main problem the main question that keeps coming up is, why can't I manifest? And it's funny because, in reality, you're all you're doing is manifesting all the time. And so there's a bit of a paradigm shift that needs to take place if you're one of those people that's like, why can't I manifest? I've taken the manifesting course. I've made my vision board or my mind movie, and it's not working for me. Why isn't it working for me? And the thing is with manifesting is it's a skill. It's something that takes practice and training, and you need to master it. And we're not talking about in terms of can I manifest, can I not manifest. You're already manifesting all the time, but it's how you place your focus and how you construct these thought forms that allow you to perceive what you want to manifest, not just what you've habitually manifested. So to put it another way, is that the life that you have right now, uh, that hasn't been made manifest, is actually a realization of past thoughts, past beliefs, past focusing, past uh, emotion, past action. And today, you're living the life that you manifested maybe several years ago. And you can look at, it's not a hard jump to look at your life, and since the time maybe you're a kid or a teenager or in your 20s, depending on how old you are, and look at where you used to be to where you are now. And if you're really honest with yourself, um, and with your level of ability, you will agree that the life that you have today, right now, as you watch this video, is the one that you manifested based on the thoughts you had at the time. Okay. So we forget that though. And so we get here in this present moment in time, and we say to ourselves, okay, this I'm not happy with anymore. That I want to change. I would like this to be better. I would like that to be different, whatever it is. And so we go about, focusing on that new potential, that new future. And the thing is, though, is that there's this sort of the way, mysticism and spirituality has been marketed now. Um, it's that it's still coming from this mentality of a quick fix. Like, hey, don't create your life the old fashioned way, do it the new and improved spiritual way. And all you have to do is do your manifesting ABC script. And before you know it, voila, here it is in your present. Here it is, here's your new reality. And then the song comes in and all the pop-ups come in on the screen, and you know buy now and tell your friends and all that sort of stuff, and look at and put it on Facebook and Instagram. Look at how great your life is now that you've manifested through ABC Manifesting Company. And that's not it at all, guys. You know, um, and there's so much focus on the end result of the manifestation, like, um, once I have this thing, once I have this object in my hand and I can consume it, then I've manifested. And it's like, hang on a minute. You get to the point once you've started manifesting a few things that you realize something will tip over. First, you're like, oh, is this real? Can I do it? Is it possible? And then you get little insights and little abstractions of your manifestation, or you get little hints that you're on the right track and it's going to collapse sooner or later. And then all of a sudden you get this event where it's like, now I've manifested something, right, that I didn't think I could, or I didn't believe that I could, and it's shown up. And you get all excited, and then you can't manifest anything for a good couple of days because you've cut off that flow with that excitement, right? And so then you start to get back into it again, and you manifest some more, and you manifest some more, and you start to calm down, and it becomes a normal thing for you. And then you realize one day, as you're manifesting something, you're like, shit, if I can do this, then I can pretty much manifest anything into my life. And then you go about going, well, what do I really want to manifest? Right? If I can actually manifest anything and I'm not limited by anything, then what do I really truly want to manifest? Because I don't want to waste my time manifesting stuff from the mind that I used to have, which was limited in doubt and disbelief, and then manifest that and still not feel satisfied. So you go on this like rethinking journey, and that for me is one of the main points of the manifesting process. It's a tool to be able to reshape and form and forge your mind into the right kind of tool to automatically manifest the kind of life that you're going to feel satisfied with. Just like, and it will be normal then, just like the life that you have today is normal to you now, but it wasn't, say, 5 years ago. There was a lot of things that you didn't have, or you couldn't do, or you didn't believe you could do, and so now you have it, and now that's your new normal. So let me ask you some questions that's going to get you maybe unhooked. And because this isn't just me knowing all the answers and you listening to me, this manifesting and asking questions, they're great tools for you to move the mind, mold the mind, and to unhook the mind, especially. I spoke to a friend the other day, and she was talking about a physician, and he's one of these guys, and he's 45, and he's really fit and strong, and he's going to be strong into his 50s, and he's eating the right foods and blah blah blah. And while everyone's talking about what to put into your body, he's talking about what not to put in your body. Okay, like the absence of things that are going to get in your way. So I'm going to ask you a few questions in line with manifesting, in the context of manifesting. And so, I mean, first of all, what are your beliefs on manifesting? What do you believe about manifesting? Is it possible? Is it woo woo? Is it something that you truly know that you can do? Do you know that you're doing it all the time? And if you are doing it all the time, then where's your focus? Like, is it focusing towards what you're wanting to manifest, or is it going there for part of the time, and the rest of the time, you're putting in all the doubt and the negatives, and why isn't it working, and how come it's taking so long, and blah blah blah. And then the other thing is, like, in this new paradigm of manifesting new things for yourself, how long have you been in the process of practicing that new manifestation? So think about this. It's like going to the gym, and it's like, getting into the best shape of your life, for example. Like this 45-year-old physician, okay? Um, I remember hearing he's like getting all agitated because he's like, oh, these guys in their mid to late 20s, they're fit and that's fine, but try doing it when you're 45. And I sort of laughed at that because I'm going through something similar in terms of getting my fitness back. And it's not about who it's harder for, but the point I'm trying to make is that these guys like myself in their 40s and over in their 50s, we have to work at staying fit and healthy, because it's not like um, it's not like when your body's still growing and forming. um, it has a propensity towards its optimum. Now we can change our beliefs to to go, well, hey, just because I'm whatever age I am doesn't mean I need to go into decline. It actually means I can keep going onward and upward, but I need to get my mind in the right place for me to automatically manifest that as my normal. And so, you can use all sorts of placebos, like good food and good practices and activities and all that sort of stuff. But you would have to agree that it's going to take time before you get into your optimum shape. And it's one thing when you're in your 20s, you sort of have this genetic natural propensity to be at optimum. And, as we go and we try all these different foods and we party out, and, the body rebounds really, really well. And as we get older, it's like, takes a little more focus, you know, because you're taking on a lot more in your life. You're doing a lot more with your energy. It's expanded a lot further out. So although you may have the same energy levels, you're using it in totally different ways. And so, you know, sometimes the methods that we use to manifest things uh, need to change too, because maybe we're operating on a new scale here. Okay, so back when The Secret came out, if you remember The Secret, they started you off with a little easy manifesting practice, like manifest a cup of coffee, or manifest a parking space when you're going to the supermarket, the shopping center, or I see checks coming in the mail. You probably remember those. And so these are great little things to get you going. um, and you can have all these little practices like affirmations, like I'm a money magnet, and you can say it to yourself in the mirror, and you can feel what it feels like to be wealthy. And you can walk down the street and you can find dollar bills just left there, like for you to pick up to reinforce your belief. And that's great. That's like you're moving in the right direction and it's all exciting. But in the grand scheme of things in everyday life, finding a dollar bill, for the average person is not really going to make a massive difference in their life other than to reinforce that they're manifesting that experience. So, that takes X amount of energy and focus and time to get the brain wired into that state for those experiences to happen. And and then you can train in that so that becomes a habit, and wherever you go, every other day, every few days, you're going to find $1 bill or some change or a $5 bill or a $10 $20 bill on the ground. And that's all cool because that's just reinforcing that seedling of manifesting money, for example, because everyone wants to be healthy, everyone wants to be wealthy, and everyone wants to be happy. So you know everything. And here's the thing, like, depending on the percentage of how much focus you had manifesting towards those three things, for example, as opposed to manifesting against those three things, your life is a perfect balance of your focus and your intention and your thoughts towards those potential outcomes. And your energy collapses down into the life that you have, and that shows you your equation, right? That shows you what your end result is. And so if you're not happy with that, um, then obviously we need to shift how we think and focus. But the first step, and this is like, it's not easy, I get this, but the first step is to get neutral with where you're at. And some people call this acceptance, right? But it's not like accepting, like, okay, this is my lot in life, I have to accept it. It's like, okay, I accept that my life in the present moment is the result of the manifesting process that I've been participating in to date. Okay. And it either worked out really well for me, or it didn't work out well for me at all, or it was a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And maybe now it's time to tweak the recipe. But in the meantime, while I'm tweaking the recipe and while I'm training my focus into a new direction, and to collapse a new potential outcome, which is an unknown to me. I haven't experienced this yet, because if I'd experienced it already, I'd be thinking about what else I could do. So in the meantime, I need to find neutrality or acceptance with where I am. I need to go, okay, this is where I'm at. This is actually where I'm at. It's like when you go to the gym, to get yourself fit and healthy, and you do a fitness test. I've seen so many people, their pre-fitness test is not an honest reflection of where they're at. It's like they're trying to impress whoever it is that they're doing the test for, and they're getting an exaggerated baseline, because, like, if you had to do that fitness test again within a week, chances are you might not have the same levels. So it's almost like going on a test flight in a a, a concept plane, right? You don't just go off and let the throttle out full force and push it to its extremes. You're testing. You take it up, you cruise around, you test, make sure everything works first. The landing gear goes up and down, flaps go up and down, rudder works. All the gauges are accurate inside the cockpit. Um, Everything responds in the right timing. There's no lag, there's no delays, right? There's no glitches. You know, you can't go pushing it, because if you do and you don't know what you're dealing with yet, you can have disastrous results. You can have disastrous outcomes. So we want to avoid that. Just like when you go into the gym to get fit and healthy, okay, you just do what you can. The first step is just to turn up and to start to um, start to exercise, right? And find out where your comfortable weights are and your comfortable reps are, and find out where your baseline is. So your life right now, where it is your baseline. Okay. And this is good to know because, this is you manifesting on autopilot without any effort at all. And when you get to your manifestation, you want to arrive there without any effort at all. You want it to be your new normal. Okay. So you just like going back to the gym, you get into this program, you do your new normal, you get into the habit of turning up, you get into the habit of practicing your manifestations. And inch by inch, you start maybe either switching up the exercises, so you're working different muscles or the same muscles in different ways. You start to increase the weight a little bit, like minuscule amount, almost unnoticeable. Or you leave the weight as it is, and maybe you change the number of repetitions you're doing. And if you're doing new exercises, you're not, you're doing them in a way that's easy and effortless. So, um, so you're training the body and the mind to do the exercise. You're conditioning all the neurology, all the muscle fibers. You're getting the body used to this new exercise. Because what a lot of people do, and this is the metaphor continues here, is they get onto a new exercise, they go at it with the same intensity and the same frequency as they do an exercise they're really conditioned and comfortable into doing. And of course, they get hurt, they get injured, they get frustrated or disappointed or angry. The body, the mind starts resisting and freaking out, and then you get into this comparison mode. And then as soon as that happens, the ball starts rolling down the hill the wrong way, and you start manifesting all these reasons why it's not working. So stop doing that. Okay. Come back to your center, come back to neutral, come back to your life just as it is now. Realize that you have manifested your current situation perfectly, right? Based on how your mind is set, what energy frequency you're tuned into and you're phased into, and the habits that you've built up over however long, how many years. And so, there's a couple of ways you can approach this. One is this, like, go hard or go home, and most people are like, if I ain't doing it 100%, then I'm not doing it at all. And guess what happens? Most people just don't do it at all, because you can't go from zero, beginner level, novice, to training at a professional level instantly. Like, the jump is just too big. There's too much stress on the body because it's not getting its old habits met, and it's feeling totally displaced. It's too much stress on the mind because the mind can't process and cope with all that new information too much. And it's stress on your energy because you're using up so much energy to hold yourself in a frequency you just have no business being in at that moment. So, just like in this, when you're traveling, in these vehicles like these concept planes, before you need to sort of ease into getting up to speed. Now, I'm not saying you can't get up to unlimited speeds, because you can, but think of this as more of a process and a way of building momentum and maintaining a momentum. Because think about it, when you get to that point in your life, when you've manifested your new life, whatever that new life looks like, you don't want to have to be scurrying around, running around, maintaining that life. You want it just to be your new normal and at rest. At rest, your life is there and it doesn't disappear on you. And, no one's coming to repossess the car. You're not getting evicted from your big, beautiful dream home because, you haven't got enough money to support that. Your business is, or your finances are in a good place where they're nice and healthy and money's just coming in and it's all getting sorted in the right way. Your health is good, you're able to go out and do your activities and do your training and do your stretching and whatever else, and there's no risk of injury, but you get this incremental improvement, right? And incremental improvement is unstoppable through time. So, you know, maybe take a different view and go, okay, my life, how it is right now, is my stop loss. That's I'm not going back from here. I'm only going to go forward. I could go back. I could, you know, start telling myself all the reasons why my practice is not working for me and it's all crap. But that's a waste of my manifesting abilities. That's manifesting in the wrong direction. So I'm going to focus forward instead, or I'm going to focus in the direction of manifesting what I really want, what's going to make me feel satisfied, where I'm going to feel relaxed, where I'm going to, just feel grateful for my life. I'm going to look around and go, holy shit, this is my life. And, it's pretty damn good. It's pretty good. I'm happy. I'm not like over the moon, overjoyed, jumping up and down, happy all the time, because that's unsustainable long term. But as my general baseline, I'm relaxed, I'm calm, I'm happy, I'm healthy. I have wealth in my life. I'm rich in all these ways, not just monetary, and life's pretty damn good. So from here, because I've manifested all this perfectly, even if I haven't realized that's what I've done, now I'm just going to lean in. I'm going to lean into these new possibilities. And although I have these goals that I want to achieve, although I have this picture of what the manifestation looks like when it's done, I'm going to take pleasure as often as I can, wherever I can, even if it's only in my imagination, where I can realize each moment by moment when I'm on track to move into that new lifestyle. Whether it's seeing my dream car drive past me after I make a good decision, or that I'm working on projects with people that are in the seeding stage now or the sprout stage now, but realizing that they're oak trees we're planting here. These are little things, little steps along the manifestation process that are going to encourage you and reinforce that that it's working. And so, because at the end of the day, you're not manifesting these things so you can have certain feelings, right? You're having the feelings and then they're manifesting. And then when they turn up, it's almost like, well, it's too late. I'm already feeling good. I'm already feeling satisfied. I'm already feeling happy. I'm already feeling healthy. I'm already feeling wealthy. I'm already feeling grateful for this moment in time right now. And so everything else is just a bonus on top of that, right? Because my baseline, where I drop back to in my unconscious levels, is at a place where it might not be fantastic and on top of the world and A class, A listing parties and blah, blah, blah. But, it's pretty damn good. Like, I've got really nothing to worry about in this moment. There's no one trying to chase me down or, no one on my back. I feel pretty damn good. And when I'm not, and I could go into doubt and all that, I'm getting contrast of where my life is needs my focus and adjustment, and it's showing me what I've already manifested and what's habitual now. And life is asking me, saying, "Do you still want this?" Like, because you're saying you want this new thing, but this is still here now. If you don't do anything about this and you keep acting on autopilot, then we'll just keep doing this because that's already tuned in, that's already programmed in. But if you still want this, then we sort of maybe we need to do something about this. Okay. And so that all starts in the mind. It all starts in your energy. Okay. So bring it all back. Focus in on relaxing. Take all of those expectations and all those dreams away and just go back inside into nothingness, into emptiness. And as we know, inside nothingness and emptiness is potent and rich with information and potential. It's like the black screen on your TV, the potential of every story, of any character, of anything happening anywhere is within that black screen. And so, one of the things that I recommend you do before you start manifesting anything is to find your neutral space in the black space and get relaxed in there and see it as your blank canvas. And take time each day, if you can, to go in there and free yourself and unhook yourself from the distractions, the expectations, and all those limiting beliefs from your past. And just go in there and chill out. And just relax in there. Make that place your baseline. And there's going to be thoughts that come up and whatever. Just watch them. They're coming up to show you what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Allow them to come up. Allow your subconscious to arise and observe it and see what is the code you're running when you're actually manifesting. Not what you want it to be, not what you think it is, but what is it actually? And just observe it. Like, there's nothing you really need to do other than observe it. Because the mere act of observing it will change it, and it will realign, and it will start to morph and mold into your new energy signature, your new frequency. And so here's a real key. It's so subtle. It's almost boring. And the key is, if you want to manifest something differently, the only thing that needs to happen really is for your energy to change. And you go, so how do I change my energy? Well, it's really simple. You just relax into that nothingness, that emptiness. And as you drop away all those things that are in the way, your energy will just automatically rise. And as your energy automatically rises, begins to raise, then whatever images and thoughts and feelings come up in your mind, and you just let them come up, you don't get tangled into them or start reliving them or trying to change them. You just observe them, pay attention to them from your new raised energy platform, from your new raised energy viewing area. And the mere act of observing your mind, which is an artifact of the past, by the way, it's a configuration of your past experiences, your past memories. By observing that from your new present elevated energetic signature state, that mere observation is changing the coding and the programming, making it easier for you to manifest potentials yet unseen and yet understood. And so just by relaxing, being calm, resting your energy, and observing whatever it is that comes to mind, automatically begins to alter the coding of the energy of that programming. And notice as you observe whatever it is that's coming up for you, and it doesn't matter what it is. Notice that as you observe that from an elevated state of awareness, from a higher frequency, even if it's only incremental at first, can you notice and pay attention to the space in the mind between the observer and the observed? And if you can do that now, just breathe and relax and allow that space to expand. Feel the spaciousness of the space between the observer and the observed. And can you notice now that the observer is not limited by the observed? The observed being your personality, your past, your present life. So connect more with the observer, observing the observed, and feel the space between the observer observing the observed. Breathe and relax. Feel the spaciousness. As you observe the observer, observing the observed. And just decline the offer to get tangled up in those thoughts and feelings from the past. Just let them be there, observing them from that space outside of them. And maybe now you can notice ever so slightly that as you observe the past thoughts, memories, emotions, experience that plays out in your present, that the mere act of raising your energy by letting go of that perception for just a moment, and as you observe that perception, notice it begins to change almost imperceptibly at first. Taking seed, taking root, in the beginning sprouting minuscule little changes here and there, slowly growing and spreading. Inside the root of the past beliefs and perceptions. Seeding and growing from within inside the old self, the new self, beginning to grow, develop, and arise from within the old self. Just like a snake shedding its skin, or a lobster casting off its old shell, allowing the new one to grow in its place without any effort at all, easily, effortlessly, calmly. Yet very powerfully. Can you feel the changes? Like little tingling inside the mind, inside the body, and inside your energy. Feel those changes taking place within the spaces. Now is a good time to ask those questions. Questions like, how is it I'm already manifesting? What is it that I truly want to manifest from my higher self? What is my higher self wanting to manifest? Can I relax even more to allow those new manifestations to take place? Can I be patient enough for those manifestations to present themselves? Can I relax enough to allow those manifestations that are already there on the edge of my awareness to come in to my life and be actualized? Can I have the patience to sit with it long enough for it to become my new normal, easily and effortlessly? In what ways do I already masterfully manifest into my life? By placing more awareness on those mastery, manifestation abilities, what potentials could I possibly realize? As an unlimited being? How can I accept that I've always been manifesting everything that I've ever experienced into my life? And what kind of mind am I molding with the manifestations that I manifest? just relax, let go, let the answers flow. Be patient and wait in the space for the instructions of what to do, when to do it, and how to do it.